Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Instagram. Lovely seeing you back. Hope you enjoyed the recap last week. Little video reminder of the Where They At Wednesdays live. Where They At Wednesdays past. Pardon me. I'm tired. So, welcome back to Where They At Wednesday. Time that I take to speak with a business owner that I know. Hey, Caesar. And that way you can find out where they at, how you can obtain their goods and their services, get to know a little bit about the person and the journey behind the page or the website, and find out more about what's going on with the local businesses in your community. The only way we can keep our community going is to support it. So small businesses, local businesses, people you didn't know that you needed to know. And today we have a guest, someone that I found on LinkedIn. He's so dope, so knowledgeable, so ambitious, so encouraging, and so positive. And I'm really, really happy for you to meet him. This is Mr. Will Davis. We are going to get started in 2.2 seconds, 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Thank you guys for coming back for Where They At Wednesday, this lovely, lovely Wednesday. Alrighty, so we're going to add Will today. Well, hello.
Hey now. Good afternoon.
How's it going? Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me, Will, Mr.
Absolutely.
Davis.
Yes. What's up, Tay?
Oh, hanging tough
You
like the
know?
new kids, doing what I do, trying to do it to
Yeah.
the best of my ability.
I feel it. All the
You,
way.
you look
All the
like you
way.
feel fantastic. Once again, on the move.
Man.
I see you're in the vehicle.
Yeah. My office. This is my office.
Exactly.
This is my sanctuary, my office. I get a lot of work done here. So I'm just kind of
Businessman on the move.
yeah. Try to get a meditation in daily, and sit here listening to some good music or some good YouTubes or something like that. Something
Mm-hmm.
informative or something on some spiritual, metaphysical, you know,
Right.
whatever
Something to
gets me through
feed
the day.
yourself. Fill you
Absolutely.
up so that you have something to give. Absolutely. You have to. Can't give
Indeed.
what you don't
Indeed.
have. And you always give me positivity. So I know whatever you're putting into yourself is beneficial. I appreciate it very, very much.
Well,
Very
likewise,
much
likewise, Tay,
personally.
for sure. For sure that, for sure.
Well, thank you. So for those of you who didn't peek at his page after I posted, this is Mr. Will Davis.
My page
He
is
is
dry.
a
Sorry.
Your page is dry. He is a Stop it. He is a mobile notary. I found him on LinkedIn looking for someone to give me a little guidance. And he has given me a lot of guidance as I'm getting rolling on my personal journey as a mobile notary.
Yes. How's that
Um,
coming along, by the way?
it's actually coming along a little bit. I've been
Yeah.
giving,
Yeah.
I've had some cards. I've been sharing with friends and family
Wonderful.
to just get started, getting the word out, getting my confidence up, and
Yeah.
um, doing a lot of the steps that you have told me that you've done along your journey. I'm just really, really grateful.
Yeah.
I know I tell you that all the time, but I'm really
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah.
So Will, let's talk a little bit about you. So I have mentioned that you are a mobile notary. Can you
Yes.
tell these people what a notary does, period? A lot of people have no clue. I
They
know I
don't.
didn't
They
for a
don't.
long time.
That's true. They
So
be like,
if someone
yes.
was looking to you for a notary, how would they know that they need you?
When they receive documents that need to be notarized, essentially. You never know you need a notary until you need one. And
Mm-hmm.
that's been my experience when I'm out networking, champagning, campaigning. I'll give someone a
Mm-hmm.
card and they be like, I just needed a notary. I'm like, I hear that 90% of the time. So
Mm.
essentially, a notary is an individual who is pretty much certified by the state of California
Mm.
uh, to act as an impartial witness, more or less. So it's a way to prevent fraud in a lot of cases. It's all about integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're dealing with very sensitive documents, people's personal information, and people do scandalous stuff. So
Right.
it's our job as notaries to prevent that from happening. Like, for example, when I'm facilitating mortgage loan documents, You got to write 2020. Just because anyone could tack a 23 on the rear of that 20 and do something shady, you know? So I always make sure that I do my spiel before I begin, just to put their mind at ease, and so the actual notarization goes smoothly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned mortgage loans. What other kind of documents generally are notarized?
Let's see, power of attorney. I just did one of those last week for my cousin, his pops. Was really sick. He actually just passed away. Rest in peace, Mr. Brown. Shout out my cousin Milo. I facilitated a healthcare directive for him at first, and we got together last week. He's like, I need a power of attorney, you know, because my dad's really sick, you know. And I came down. We did it in his car, you know. We knocked it out, and turned out it was right on time. So a lot of it has to do with time sensitivity, and you know, people's final wishes and things like that. So along with that, marriage licenses need to be notarized. I do a lot of DMV title transfers, personal documents, business documents, wills. We had a conversation about wills, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And thank you for that, because I was overthinking it big time.
Well, a lot of this game is overthinking, and you gotta just kind of relax. Like I did a notarization yesterday for this lovely couple, and it was just it's so chill. Just like you keep them at ease, you know, and you small talk them.
Right.
And, you know, the lady gave me a bunch of food. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then their pets were chill. They were like, we never.
Super burrito?
She gave me, right? That would be nice. She gave me hella lumpia. She's a Filipino lady. She gave me like a whole big bundle. I was like, Jesus Christ, thank you very much. You know, so a lot of it is these documents can be overwhelming. You know, like this one was like 240 pages. It was larger. Wow. It was larger than a traditional mortgage loan signing, like whether it's a buy, a sell, refinance, a HELOC, or something like that. So when I loaded it up, I seen all those pages, and I had to print them twice, because a lot of times you have to double print. You have to print one to facilitate and one for them. So that goes into your overhead. That comes out of your overhead at the end of the day. So essentially, you're paying for ink, toner, paper, gas, and maintenance. Pretty much.
And that's on the business end as a notary public, an independent notary public.
That is an independent contractor. Yes. That's what that is. Like, you can work for a company. That's how I got introduced to it. A friend of a friend, she told me how much she made, and I was like, what, where, how? And she sent me a link, and I just followed through with it.
And that was going to be my next question for you. How did you get started? Like, tell me a little bit about your journey, because we all have one.
Indeed, we do. Well, that's essentially, in a nutshell, that's what happened. She told me she makes, you know, 8 to 10 grand a month. And I was like, where do I sign up? You know, 'cause at the time, you know, I mean, I've been working since I was a junior high. You know, work ethic is, you know, through the roof. I can strongly say that. Yeah.
What kind of work were you doing before?
I worked in fine dining for about 10 years. I drove buses for 10 years. And then I had little jobs here and there. I worked at like U-Haul, Home Depot, things like that, you know. And I just got to the point where I'm ready to work for myself, you know. I've mastered this employee thing. Let me level up. Let me level up. You know what I mean? And it was the best decision I ever made. Best decision I ever made, or one of the best decisions I ever made in terms of my life and my career. Definitely. Yeah.
How long have you been working for yourself now as a mobile notary?
I've been a notary for 3 years. I just made 3 years. Mid-June. So I have, you know, a little less than that to get recertified, take the test again, and I'm definitely going to do it, even though I have other ventures and other irons in the fire, and other things I got going. I really enjoy doing this. I enjoy the freedom. You're not
the only person I've heard say that. You know, you don't hear a lot about notaries, but then when you actually meet one and talk to them, like, they're like,
this is it. This
is what I do, you know. At least the ones that I've met or that I've encountered that have been in full time. When you first started, did you go all in, or did you kind of like tip into it a little bit?
Part time, whenever I could, just getting experience, because I was a little reluctant to use my stamp. You know what I mean? Because it is a big responsibility. Yes,
I do know what you mean.
Firsthand, right? Firsthand. So
firsthand.
opportunities arose, and I took the initiative. I'm like, you know what? Nothing's going to stop me. Period.
Yeah.
You know, and like the first one I did, I just overheard someone talking. They said they needed a notary, and I'm like, I'm a notary. Never done one before. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. You know, I keep my credentials on me, you know, so they can see that I'm legit, you know. And we went outside and we just did it, you know, and that was pretty much it. You know, you got to get your feet wet. That's the whole thing.
Right.
The more you do, the more
Absolutely.
confident. I was just thinking about yesterday when I did the signing. It was nothing. It's nothing. You know, like once you get the hang of it, you know, and you can actually answer questions, the questions that you can answer, because there's certain questions that you can't answer. You know,
yeah, legally you're not legally able to answer certain questions, even if you know.
And I've had signers try to get at me kind of like, you know, because I couldn't answer, and I'm like, call your lender. They have those answers. You know, I can tell you this, and that, but anything else, that's above my pay grade, and I'm not willing to risk, you know, what I've worked hard for, jeopardize because you want trust. Exactly. So yeah. I went through the process. Yeah.
So tell me this. So now that you are and have been full-time mobile independent, what territories, like what area do you cover, or what area are you able to cover in case somebody on here needs a notary in your area?
Well, technically anywhere in California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did we talk about that? I think I told you about that, right?
I think we mentioned it because I was questioning because, you know, I have, you know, family in Southern California and things like that. And I'm like, well, do I have to stay in the county that I'm commissioned in? Like, who can I help? Who can I serve?
Anyone in the state of California, for sure.
I can dig it.
I'm from Berkeley, B-Town, California. But I live in Vallejo, lovely Vallejo. I'm actually down by the waterfront right now, just kind of hanging out, enjoying this gorgeous weather. I go about.
I'm jelly.
Where you at? Down
Santa
there?
Clara.
Santa Clara?
Yeah,
it's nice down there too. It's nice down there. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but I want to dip my toe in the water.
Right. Well, you got to get to moving toward the coast. You know what I mean?
You're right. You know, hey, Biggs.
About 20
I'm
miles.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
That's all good. I go about 20 miles, 25 miles in any direction. You know what I'm saying? So if you're familiar with this terrain, this area, this region, I'll go Vallejo, Benicia, Napa, Sonoma. Sometimes I cross the 37 over to Novato, San Rafael, and then I might head down towards Hercules, Rodeo. I've gone as far as south as I've done some Berkeley's because I'm from there and I have ties there still. So what I'll do is I'll set it up to where if I'm going down there, I'll do 1 or 2 signings while I'm down there. Might as well. You know, I'll do it before or after whatever other business I need to do, just because they only take about an hour and the money's, yeah.
And that's the beauty of working for yourself. Like, if you are able to set your schedule, then you set your schedule however you do it. We have a question. Where do you advertise? So how can someone contact you if they're looking for your services?
You could DM me on my Instagram, my parched Instagram. It's ridiculous. I know we talked about it. I know. It is. It is. It's a work in progress.
You're still available on there. And you're still available on there.
I absolutely
so it's okay.
am. DM me. If you have any questions, you can DM me. We didn't even get into the credit repair. I think maybe another show.
No. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about all the things that people can contact you for.
Okay. Well,
this is what we need to know where you're at and what you do. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So on top of being a mobile notary and serving your community out near and around Vallejo, you also do credit repair. Let's talk about what you offer as far as that, what that would look like if someone needed your services.
I want to help my people. You know what I mean? So I'm self-taught. I fixed my own and got excited about that. Help my sister fix hers. You know what I mean? That right there is something that, honestly, I still do it, but not as much as the loan signings, because it's time consuming, to be honest. So I would be more inclined to, I don't mind helping individuals, but family structure, because that's life-changing stuff. You know what I mean? When your credits together, you got a king and a queen and their, credits together, the sky's the limit,
Agreed. Agreed.
And that was my whole thing, because we need it the most, because we've been dogged the most, and they kept
Right.
things from us, but they can't keep secrets from us anymore. Those days
Right.
are over. So there's no excuses. You know what I mean? Like, Google is your friend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, um, yeah, I'm also an ordained minister. I don't know if I even mentioned that to you, but
You
yeah.
did, because
Okay, yeah.
when we met up, you showed me your card and that you're authorized to marry
Yeah,
people, and we were talking about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I showed you my credentials. Yeah, I got
Yep,
on there. So
absolutely you did.
yeah, I haven't gotten into that yet. I haven't married anyone yet, but I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. I'm very blessed to be in a position to be able to do that.
Would it be a conflict of interest if you were to marry somebody and notarize their marriage license?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so
But
when you
that's
do
but
a
that's
wedding,
okay.
call me and I'll notarize it.
Exactly. That's okay. I'm definitely going to call you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're my
And you know I'm
go-to.
gonna call you if there's
Yeah.
something. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm really happy to have you in my network. Really.
Yeah. I'd be happy to. That's how we do that. You know,
Absolutely. I'm
definitely.
with it.
Um,
We'll
I'm
travel.
just,
I will travel.
yeah, traveling notary. You got to be. I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll marry you to you, man. Absolutely. DM me and we can sit down and talk about it. If you guys need
Yeah, we
credit,
need to talk about that,
assistance,
Biggs. I didn't know you
yeah,
was getting married. You need
yeah.
me to do your hair, cousin? Let's know. Let us
Let's
know.
all get involved.
Let's all get
You
involved.
know,
It's a family.
it's
It's
a
a community
yeah,
thing.
it's a
The
beautiful thing.
community is involved in the union.
It's a beautiful
Okay.
thing. It's a beautiful thing. Definitely, definitely. But yeah,
So
my
yeah,
yes,
continue. I'm sorry.
my primary thing definitely is the notary, because real estate is something I always kind of want to get into, and so my next venture is
Hmm.
actually wholesaling real estate, and so
Yeah.
yeah, that's coming up.
So how does what you do now translate into that?
Uh, it's under the same umbrella. It's
Hmm.
this it's you get the knowledge. You know what I
Right.
mean? So let me see. Maybe right about the time I uh got my commission to be a notary, I started
Yeah.
like looking into real estate. I started learning as
Got
much
it.
as I can, and then I reached out to my networks and realized I knew a bunch of realtors, a bunch of brokers. And I was like, okay, excellent.
Hmm.
So if I ever do have a question, I know who to reach out to, and they're more than
Hmm.
happy to look out for me, just because they the type of dude I am, and I'm willing to do the same thing for them, and they know this, So um,
And I've learned this since I stole you off of LinkedIn. And I
right,
decided.
right,
I was like,
right,
"Hi, I see what you do. Listen, can you
yeah,
talk to me? I don't know.
yeah,
I
and
need some guidance."
And
And
what I tell you, I
and
said,
here it
pick my
is.
brain. I said, pick my brain. I don't mind
And
sharing
I
this,
do.
because at the end of the day, um, I got blessed with this knowledge to be able to change my
Yeah.
life, to change my life. No more weekends, no more holidays. I did it for a long time. A broker is someone who they kind of have their own business. Like, you have realtors, but to be a broker, you have to be a realtor first.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when a realtor sells a house, they got to split the money with the broker. You know what I mean? So broker's
Yeah.
really where you want to be, if that's the type of
Yeah.
field. Me, myself, I kind of, a notary, a signing agent is what I am, actually. Because you have a notary
Mhm.
and then you have a signing agent, is what you just became. So,
Mhm.
um, our, our position, our part is a small part, but it's very important. It's an intricate part. Houses don't get sold or bought without us. They need us
Mhm.
to come in and knock that out for them, or they'll lose the
Mhm.
loan, they'll lose the funding. All types of things can go wrong, if you know what I mean, if we don't do things properly. So it's a
Mhm.
real, like, attention to detail type of thing. Like I said, you got a stack of paper this big, and people get
Yeah.
overwhelmed with that, and so you have to
Exactly.
kind
It
of
can get
talk these
overwhelming.
people through it. You have to talk these people through it, and I've been overwhelmed before when I first started. It happens, and that's why
Mhm.
I encourage you to just get your feet wet, just take the plunge, and just
I am.
you know, because I work with various platforms that
Yeah.
kind of they facilitate the loan signings. They put
Mhm.
them out, and then they pick based on algorithm and what have you.
Mhm.
So you can always reach out to them, if you have any questions. So there's resources out there while you're at
Mhm.
the table. If there's a document that comes up and you're
Right.
not sure, always ask before anything else. Because
So
what's
if
going to
there's
happen
a
if you don't? is they're going to
No
send, you're going to
problem.
send it off, and then they're going to call you. They're going to call you. They're going to make that call, and then you're going to be like, yeah, and they'll be like, yeah, we need you to redo this.
We need you to do it again.
And don't be up in Vallejo and do a signing down in Santa Clara, because you're going to have to go back down to Santa Clara. In a lot of cases, sometimes you can just pull out an all-purpose acknowledgement and just jot down the information, notarize it, and then scan it to them. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you actually gotta, you know. And I'm not big on paperwork either, but you know what? I overcame that. for how much they paying me, I overcame that. I was like, it's not that bad. I'm sitting there at this table.
Paper for paper.
It's paper for paper. If it's $1 a page, let's do the math. You know, and you're sitting there for an hour. You know, it's nothing. And you do 2 or 3 of those a day. You know, I average like 2 to 4 a day, depending on, you know, or not. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
How can an individual who's looking to obtain your services in your area contact you outside of Instagram? Do you have a business phone number where they can reach out and get some notarizations?
Yes, indeed, I do. If you're ready, my number is 510-940. 5427.
5427. One more time.
510-940-5427.
Okay, you guys heard it, right? And this will be saved. So if you need to reach Mr. Will Davis for any notarization services, credit repair services, or you about to get hitched, and especially in his primary area, he will travel, but especially in his primary area, he'll be happy to help you. He's mobile, he is professional, he is knowledgeable, and he is available. That part, you know.
That part.
Paper for paper.
That paper for paper. Hashtag paper for paper.
Hashtag paper for paper.
Yeah.
That's the new one. I'll be using it.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah, if you're in the East Bay or in the North Bay, you know, and you need a notarization, usually it happens fast. All of a sudden, you just need to get something, you know, done or whatever. And so, like, for example, the FedEx that I frequent, I do their notarizations, basically, because they don't do those there. They do them at UPS, but they don't do them at FedEx. So I'm in good with them to where I just left a bunch of business cards, and then I get a call and I know exactly where it came from, more or less. I'm like, did you go to FedEx? They're like, yeah. I said, yeah, I got you. Don't even worry about it. You know, let me know when you're available and we can meet up and knock it out. You know? Yeah, I noticed that there were only some places that offered the services, especially during this shelter in place, because that's when I needed it to get my documents notarized for my notary commission. So has this has the lockdown shifted the way you operate at all, and if so, how? Well, when I facilitate a mortgage loan, when I go to a person's residence, a signer's residence, it may not be inside their house. It may be outdoor. I'm masked up, gloved up. You know, they're sanitized and everything, because they'll get the heads up. Your notary's coming by. If you have it, a 6-foot table, put it in the garage, set it up, you know, and we knock it out. So I factor in the breeze. Sometimes it gets breezy, you know, so I'm having to like anchor down, you know, the materials and the paper and things like that. A lot of places, you know, are in work closed down. So that was just beneficial for me, because I wasn't closed. I was open for business daily. And you're an essential business, you know, so if a place that does offer that stuff is not equipped to adjust or has to close down, you were still available because you are on the move and out and mobile. I was out here. I was out here for real. Like when the world was shut down, I was out every day, because the money was so good, because the interest rates are so low right now that everyone's refinancing their homes. So my business skyrocketed. It did. And there's no shortage of business. That's what I was telling you. Like, man, these people, you know, the interest rates are like around 3%. And I've seen as low as 2.50, which is unheard of. So people are really capitalizing on that right now. Right. And we're capitalizing on that. Yeah. So they're happy to see us, you know, whenever we arrive, you know what I mean? Because that's helping the process, speeding up the process. And a lot of times in the process of purchasing a home or selling a home, they don't really even see anyone physically a lot of times, especially now. Right. So we're the only one. Yeah. Everything's moving virtual. Everything is moving virtual. As well as notarizations. As well as notarizations. Yeah. In other states, they're working on things. Well, it hasn't really gotten to California yet, but back east they're doing
Mm-hmm.
more virtual notarizations. They have e-docs that are they're happening right now. Like when you go to a signing, they'll have them do some e-docs already. So like electronic documents, when you purchase something and then you sign your name and then just,
Yeah.
what I mean, page for page kind of thing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I've
know?
done that, and it gives a little
Right,
highlighted thing where you put your
right.
electronic signature and stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, exactly. So when I hit the door, I ask them if they've completed any e-docs as of yet. You know what I mean? That kind of
Mm-hmm.
helps me understand where they're at in the process. Um,
Now, if they do something like that, if they have their documents electronically signed, you can't electronically stamp though. So you still have to show up to do that part, right?
so so the way that I think they're implementing things is
Mm-hmm.
a notary will stop by, and instead of it being an hour with all this paperwork, it's more like 10 minutes. They get e-docs and then we stamp.
Mm.
It's like one wet signature, maybe two. And then you notarize one or two documents, like the deed of
Mm-hmm.
trust always gets
Mm-hmm.
notarized. The signature name affidavit always gets notarized. Um, uh, the note gets notarized. These are just
Mm-hmm.
sections
A few of
of
the
a
important
loan
of the.
package. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So yeah, that's
Okay.
that's happening. I mean, everything is shifting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
The world
is.
is shifting. So we ride along. We ride along with it. And it's coming along
Absolutely.
nicely.
You gotta
There's
roll,
no
gotta move, roll with the
roll with the
punches.
punches. Yeah, you got to bob and
Roll with
weave. You
it,
got to
Mama.
bob and weave. Y'all here in the streets, man, for real. I'm just blessed that uh, as soon as COVID hit, it just took flight. It took flight, and
Hmm.
it's been a wonderful ride. I must say, I've been enjoying it
And
and learning a
and there's
lot.
always and there's always people that capitalize in times of crisis. There is definitely people who suffer, but there are also people who thrive and
People
who
become
can thrive depending
millionaires.
on what you got exactly through stuff
Yeah,
like this. So
yeah.
I'm really, really grateful because again, not only is this a business that I knew very little about and I'm still learning about, but it's also a service that most of us
It
don't know
is.
very much about. A lot of
It's
people need it, don't know they need
it's
it, don't
very
know how to get
important.
it, don't know what it is, don't know who to call. And I'm glad that you have made yourself available to
Absolutely.
people and to know to understand what it is, and so that way they know when they need it and how to utilize the resource.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. I'm
so run
thankful to
your
be in this
phone number
position.
one more time.
One more again.
Mm-hmm.
510
Uh-huh.
940 5427.
Again, if you all need a notary public and you're in or around Vallejo, even in the East Bay, North Bay, all around California, but primarily there, a mobile notary, some credit assistance, or even someone to get you hitched, Mr. Will Davis is your guy. He just sent
Yes.
his number. You can find him on Instagram. He doesn't have a lot of posts, but he is available and will answer your DMs. He will
Absolutely.
contact you
Absolutely.
back. He's definitely reachable. So don't get it twitted. I'm really, really, really glad that you're on here because, again, like I said, there's very little that is known. And when I'm like, I'm going to become a notary, people are like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not really sure. I know that we do
I've
some
gotten the
stuff." So,
randomest questions
as you
like
know,
that. Yeah, they're like, so are you a process? They think I'm a process server, or they think I deal with
hmm
taxes. I'm like, no, it's none of
hmm
that. It's none of that. So
no,
apparently they've never actually had to deal with one or needed
right?
one. But
Hmm.
eventually at some point you just may need one. And if I'm not in your
Yeah,
area, contact me anyway, because I'm not a hater. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I'll point you in the right direction of someone or an entity that can get you situated. You know?
Well,
It's
that's the
about
point of a
efficiency and getting the job
network,
done. Yeah, yeah. Well,
exactly,
we're in that work. If somebody says they're going down your way, you already know I'm sending them to you.
and vice
Absolutely.
versa.
Yeah, absolutely. You know?
Absolutely. I'm really, really grateful. Like you have been a tremendous help for me. I don't think that you know just how much of a help that you've been for me. Because it's one thing about some of us, and I'm speaking to myself as in some of us, what I mean by some of us, I mean me, is
Okay, okay. I'm with you. I'm
that
with you.
that it's not difficult for me to be a student, for me to acquire a certification and be in position to do something, but sometimes there's a failure to launch. There's that fear of
Yeah,
really getting it rolling. It's like,
yeah.
okay, now I do this, but I have this, but what do I do with it? And I will say that finding you on LinkedIn, well, first off, I was looking for some kind of guidance, because once you get your commission, you kind of just out there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Naked.
you just bowl
Naked.
naked,
Yeah,
exactly.
out there.
And the fact that you were Bay Area, young looking, you know, you are a young man, but you know, you
Yeah,
didn't look all decrepit and falling apart like, okay, I don't know if I can even communicate the way, especially the way that I communicate effectively
right.
with
Yeah,
somebody else,
I know. I
you
know how you
know.
get
So
down. I know. Yeah,
see,
yeah.
so the fact that you were in the Bay Area, you were young looking, and that you were a brother, and you were doing exactly the direction, because I've known other notaries, but again, they worked for their
For a
company.
company, yeah.
So
They're not
it's
independent.
slightly different. Exactly. So they're only doing things for their job. Whereas me as an entrepreneur, um, everything that I'm adding to my entrepreneurial portfolio is just that. It's
Right.
independent. So I
Totally.
needed some guidance from a different perspective. So the
Yeah,
fact that you were open, and then you're right here in California, in the
yeah.
Bay Area, and you know, I mean, just listening to your journey when I ask you questions, and you just being open to talking to me. It's just been fantastic. It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure, and I'm really, really grateful. I don't know if you know how much you've been helping me.
I'm glad I could be of service, in all honesty. Because the thing
And
is,
because you're helping me, I've been like, as I'm learning things, I'm sharing with others. And there's a couple of my friends and family who are now interested in becoming mobile
yeah, I
notaries.
bet you turn them on to it. You know, I got a couple people on my side that are like they seen how I'm moving. They're like, wow, I want some of
Right,
that. I want some of that. I'm like,
right.
well, here it is. Actually, I have a colleague who actually he just did it. He's went and taking his exam because he's seen
Nice.
and we met like probably about a year ago or so,
Mm-hmm.
um, dealing with the credit repair. But he's seen
Yeah,
position. He's seen the elevation. He was like, dude, if you own, I'm like,
right.
yeah, yeah, this is real. This is
Yeah.
real, you know? So
That's the
it's the
idea.
thing is like,
It ain't
I didn't
about
have
saying
anyone
we want to be on. It's about really getting on, you know?
really like physically like tangible. Like it's there. It's happening right now as
Hmm.
we speak. It's live, you know, like
Do
how
you
we on
see
live
that
right now.
question? Did you see that question?
Huh?
Were we just talking
Do I
about that? Do you do classes?
do I do
Were we just
classes?
talking about
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about that. Absolutely. That's coming. That's coming. Trust me. Just
Uh-huh.
keep in contact with me. Tap in, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Stay in
Yeah,
contact.
classes are
Yeah.
definitely coming because I want to share this knowledge.
Yeah.
I was given to, as far as I've come, I was given a link. Homegirl gave me a link and I just followed it through. And you didn't get
Yeah.
to experience this because of the times, but I had to go to a testing site and have proctors administer this exam for the state of
Yeah.
California. And I was the only brother in there, only young brother in there,
I was the only
you know?
sister in my class when I with the proctor, and I had to, because I did mine in January,
Oh,
and I had to
so
go
you
to the
did do
place.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
did.
you
I
did.
went in. I spent the whole day. I did the class. I took my test. Again, I was the only sister, the
It's gonna be
only
like that.
person,
So my
you know.
homegirl,
And
hey V, that's my homegirl. So she's the one who actually put me on with
oh, hey, well,
what I'm doing now.
thank
Miss
you, Miss
Ivy.
V.
Miss Ivy. It was her friend, but like I wouldn't have known her if it wasn't for Ivy. I've known Ivy
Right.
for forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm indebted to her. I still owe her lunch. She know it. You know, I got you.
You done bought them
You know,
FedEx people pizza, and you ain't got Ivy no lunch. You got to get on that.
cause I know. Don't get her started. Please don't get her. Oh God, Jesus Christ. She know it. She know it. She know I'm gonna come pay her a visit real soon. I'm gonna come pay her a visit. She don't live as close as these FedEx guys. I didn't know what they
Right.
wanted. I was like, you guys. I was thinking in my head they might want a bottle of Jameson or something. It was like pizza. I'm like, all right, well, pick a day when you're all there, and I get you pizza. It's good, you know. And they still like bring me. They be like,
Hmm.
did you get a call? Did you get a call? I'll be like, when? It was like, today. We just gave out a card. I'm like, you guys are the best,
Isn't
man. Thank you.
it beautiful when people are excited to support you? I
Yeah.
think, I mean, because all we hear about is the negativity and the haters and all of that stuff. But there are people that are actually excited to support each other. I'm
They
excited to
are,
support
yeah.
people. That's why I take
That's why
a block out
that's
of my day every Wednesday
yeah.
to just chop it up
And
with
that's
y'all and
beautiful.
sharing the
And that's
information.
beautiful. And that's beautiful. And you're such a beautiful person. You know what I mean? Like, who
Thank you.
does that type of thing? You do it. You know what I mean? And I'm
Hi.
indebted to you as well. And I thank you so much. You know what I mean?
Well,
Just because
I
for being the
believe,
person that you are.
thank you. I believe, and I say this all the time, we're on this planet with billions of other people, and that's on purpose. That's not an accident. So to be connected, to be able to share, to be, everybody knows somebody who does something or who has something. And then I think about this. I might be a little weird, but even as a kid, I've always thought, like, if money wasn't a thing, what would we be doing? Number one. And number two, we would be back to like a barter system. If you don't have any skills or a trade or any
Right.
knowledge or anything to
Can
give
you build
anybody else in
something?
exchange for the things
Yeah.
that
Can you
you
fish?
need,
Yeah. Yeah.
how valuable, it's really about the exchange and the connection, the community, and what people can give, and not just what we can get.
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
about it all the time.
So do I. I mean, this
So
world can switch. Just go back to a barter system. Just like that.
absolutely.
We're working with fiat here. So it's like it's not the dollar
Exactly.
isn't based on
It's not
anything,
even backed
you
on
know.
anything. It's a
So get
freaking coupon.
yeah, so get your skills up, you know, so you can have something to offer, something to
Exactly.
offer, you know.
Value
Not
to yourself and to your family and to your community. I mean, I think about that. If you didn't have these little coupons or a little card telling you that it's worth something in exchange for something else, how would you get the things that you need? What
right.
skills or knowledge or abilities or trades have you acquired? A lot of the things like sewing and making things and building things, people are kind of looking like, I'm not doing that.
Right. Right.
But I think that because there's become a renewed value in community and
Yeah.
a renewed value in independence, not just independence, individual independence, not like me and I'm it, but like independence from certain systems and aspects of the system. People are getting a little back, getting a little more back into growing our own food and creating things for
Yeah.
ourselves and networking with each
Absolutely.
other. And
Absolutely.
how beautiful is that? Because it gives you a sense of self-value. And so then it gives you a value of you and yours, because all of you can come together and sustain yourselves together. I think it's
That's
beautiful. So
meaningful. That's meaningful.
again, I'm
Extremely
really grateful
meaningful.
that you
Yeah.
are one of the billions of people that I'm in contact with along this journey we call life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I
Dearly
I
beloved.
have a love hate. We all got to hit today.
Don't get me started on Prince, man. That's my
For
guy.
all of you guys who didn't catch that, that's a Prince reference.
That's a Prince reference. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
man, and that's why I have a love-hate relationship with internet and social media. Yes, there are a lot of people that do a lot of not cool and not productive things on it, but honestly, if you are, for those that have an ear, let them hear. Okay, if you are aware and if you are really looking to connect with people, it allows you to reach people that you may not have normally touched in your general circle. It allows you to influence people and to be influenced and to connect with people. I don't be going up to Vallejo. I wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for LinkedIn.
See, there you have
So
it. There you have it.
I can't talk bad about it. It's about how you use it. See, this is the thing that we
Yeah.
also
Yeah, for
miss.
sure.
Things are tools. We get so wrapped up in these platforms and these things, and we don't understand what they can be used for. You
Yeah.
can have a hammer and either use it to build up some shelter or use it to bash somebody in the head. It's up to you if you
Yeah.
want to be constructive or destructive with these tools. So again, I have a love-hate relationship with it. It's a platform, and I'm grateful that you and some other, exactly, tools. What are you going to
Tools.
use with it? The knowledge that we have, the abilities that we have, the gifts that we have, the people that we know, and these devices that we have, what are we using them for?
At our
I think
fingertips.
right
At our
here, right
fingertips.
here.
Yeah.
How beautiful. So do you have some work to do today?
You say what?
Do you have some work to do today?
I don't know. I was thinking about doing some. I did some, right? And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. I don't have
Mhm.
to if I don't want to, and if I want to go
Mhm.
hard, I can go hard. There's enough
Mhm.
opportunity out there. But if I'm not doing this and I'm doing something else, I'm
Exactly.
growing. I'm evolving. I started my day
Mhm.
fairly early and ran some errands and stuff like that. And they just kept on coming in. Remember I showed you they just kept on coming in. And
Mhm.
I was saying
Mhm.
no to most of them. I think I popped at one, maybe two or
Mhm.
something like that. But we'll see. I'm going out of town next week, so I kind of want to do at least a
Mhm.
couple before I leave. I'm going to Vegas,
Yeah.
lamp a little bit and look at some property out there.
Hey.
Yeah, look at some
Yes.
commercial
Business and
property.
pleasure.
Yeah, gotta be.
You
So,
gotta be.
I
Mhm.
think that later on in the afternoon, like I told you, they get desperate. You know, it's midweek, probably around maybe 4 or 5. I'll see a nice one that's right in my area. I don't have to go too far, and
Mhm.
I'll probably knock that one out. And then I'll get on the road once I do one. Cause I'm like, that was too easy. Where's another one at? That kind of thing.
Mhm.
It just rolls
Mhm.
like that. Like you can really, you know, set your own pace with doing this, and that's
Yeah.
the beauty of it. You know, and you're just learning all the while and getting more experienced all the while. Because every single signing, I learned something. I
Yeah.
learned something about a particular document or how it's facilitated or this particular company. I make a
Mhm.
connection with someone at a title company. And then if I'm in their neck of the woods, I'll stop by, give them some business cards, do some more
Mhm.
networking. So it's ongoing, so I may
Yeah.
not be doing, and then I'll get calls for like, someone needs a birth certificate, notarized or, a power of attorney or something. So it's not just
Mhm.
the mortgage loan documents, but
Right.
it's
There's a
majority
whole
though.
plethora of things that people need a notary for. And that's why I asked you in the beginning, because again, you don't know you need one until you need one. So if
Until
people
you
are
need
like,
one.
oh, I actually do have something coming up where I think I might need something, then they know who to
Yeah,
call.
they know
So,
who to call.
um,
Call me or call her.
absolutely. Call us.
Yeah, call us. We
Call us.
on.
We out
Yeah,
here.
yeah, we're
We
available.
out
We're
here.
available. We'll get
Yeah.
it going
And
for
don't
you.
forget, you all, to follow him on Instagram just to be able to stay in contact. This link, this video will also be saved, and I'll be putting up a recap in like a week or so you guys can revisit. But be sure to follow the people that I have here on, follow them on Instagram, follow them on their YouTubes or whatever social media. I mean, you guys are on here anyway. You might as well stay connected. Let's stay
Might as
connected.
well. Might as
That's
well.
the idea,
That's the point.
for
Yeah.
us to stay connected. So again, in and around Vallejo, credit repair, getting hitched, married. That is, if you all don't know what that is, I'm a little old.
Jumping the
Getting
broom.
married,
If you're jumping
jumping
the
the
broom,
broom,
you know,
tying the knot,
tying the knot.
tying the knot,
Right.
whatever that is. Or you need something notarized, whether it be some kind of legal document, a request for your birth certificate, a loan title change on your vehicle, loan documents. If you don't have if you're doing things alone and you want to get your own notary outside of what the company may send you, then you guys can contact Will. Again, follow him on Instagram. His number is in here, and we are happy to have him not just on Where They At Wednesday, but just as a member of our community and
Thank
out
you,
here in
Tay.
California.
Thank you, Tay.
Absolutely.
So sweet.
And I
Thank
don't
you.
volunteer lies. I'm not.
I
I'm
know.
not
I
sweet.
know.
I'm honest.
I know. I know. And I appreciate that immensely. I do. You know. Do I fingerprint too? That's
Do
coming. That's
okay.
coming. That's coming. I was researching it. I reached out to
Mhm.
a buddy of mine who has a security company, and we
Mm.
sat down and rapped about that a taste. But it's coming. You just want to be a
Okay.
one stop. You want to be a one stop shop out here. You want
Yeah.
to wear many hats. So
So we're going to be looking forward to a few things from you. We're going to be looking for classes. We're going to be looking for fingerprinting. We're going to be looking for some. I don't know. You probably going to be owning some of the buildings we going to be in for
yeah,
our
that's
future
for sure.
businesses. Keep on.
That's definitely
Yes,
a huge goal that I'm going to accomplish. That's next on the list. Is really getting
we out here.
yeah, for real. We out here. We taking over. And we giving
I
back.
get encouraged. I get encouraged every time I do these with you guys. Like I don't even be talking about my stuff. I just talk about y'all stuff, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah, you should. That's
It's
community. That's what
juice.
it's all about.
Yeah. I mean, I just love it. This is, and there's so many different industries, and everybody knows somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, once again, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get to your shoreline beach. I don't even know where you're at, but enjoy the water and your afternoon. I know it's a really nice afternoon out. I'll be talking to you before you leave your trip. But again, thank you so much. Ooh, that's how you're gonna do me. You're just gonna turn it around on me,
I
huh?
had to. I have to show you one of the time where I'm at. What type of man would I be if I didn't show you how I'm living right now? You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Hey,
I need to get myself outside.
Tay,
Yes,
do them notarizations. Knock them out.
I
Knock them
am.
out. Knock them
I
out.
am.
Have you gotten
I
on
am.
have you gotten on SnapDocs as of yet?
No. So here's the thing. We just got word that the salons are opening, so I've been doing a lot of stuff for that.
Yeah, got you.
But
Got you.
it is definitely on my to-do list, either the before this week is out or the beginning of next week to get the snapshots. I was just about that yesterday, and I
Okay.
have the notes that you gave me
Okay, good.
of what I would need. So I'm definitely getting on there, and I'm going to sign up with them other people that text me that one time too.
I know they've been hitting you. You were telling me they was hitting you, those other entities
Yeah,
or whatever.
They hit me
Yeah.
twice. Well, there's that one that was sending me stuff at first, and a couple of times where I was going to take it, it went by fast. I did receive some advice also from one of the Facebook groups of the
Yeah.
notaries, some of the
Yeah.
more seasoned people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was suggested to me is don't take any last minute ones for my first one because you don't want to be overwhelmed. You want to be able to take your time, and a lot of the stuff has been
Absolutely.
kind of last minute. So that's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
thing that I was a little
I
hesitant
feel it.
about.
No, definitely take your time. Definitely take your time.
Hmm.
Set some time aside, if you
Yeah.
can, or if you take one like in the near future, push it out. Maybe
Hmm.
like let's say today's Wednesday, maybe Friday at 2 p.m. Make sure that you don't do anything before that, and
Hmm.
get a real good look at those documents, and just get a
Hmm.
feel. Contact the signer, you know,
Yeah.
tap in with them and make sure that they have what they need, what's required of them, because there's things that
Yeah.
they'll need, and then they'll give you special notes, information, um, that may or may not be applicable. It depends.
Right.
Sometimes they're like blue ink only, say in like bold text or whatever.
Hmm.
You need that
Yeah.
because when you come in and do a whole signing in black ink, no
It's
bueno.
done.
No
Void.
bueno.
Right.
So little things like that, and these are things that I just want you to really get in there because the more you do, the more comfortable you will be. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But just know that it's here for you. You know what I mean? Like I can shut off my apps and just enjoy the rest of the day. And then just
Right.
set it up to where first thing in the morning they'll start coming back in, start rolling back in. And just
Yeah.
the freedom. The freedom is what I was really shooting for, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And we know that I'm not trying to spend the rest of my life standing for every dollar. So um,
Right. We talked about that when
we're
you
not
did. You was
doing
like,
that.
how
We
easy
thought
was that
exactly.
compared to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. I'm
yeah,
like, I've done a shampoo flat iron. It took me an hour and a half. This took me 20 minutes.
exactly.
15
Exactly.
maybe.
Exactly. I
Eesh.
mean, I did the
Yeah.
math. I was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. This is something
Hmm.
that I can do well on, and then
Yeah.
have the time to do other things. That's the thing. Like when you're at
Right.
a 9 to 5, nothing against 9 to 5s if that works for you. But to have the freedom and the availability, it's
And you're a
crazy.
father
Like,
also. Let's
yeah,
not forget that. You're
I
a
am.
father. I think it's interesting though, because the different mindsets. A lot of the time, now I don't have children, so I'm just speaking based on um, what I hear from everybody else. Some people will use their children and be like, well, I can't do X, Y, and Z because of my kids. But then there are other people that are like, I have to do X, Y, and Z because of my kids. Like, I need to be able to show them something else. I need to provide something different for them than what I had or what I had to go through. So I think it's beautiful that you also, as a father, have set the tone for another entrepreneur, for some ownership, for some
Absolutely.
generational
Absolutely.
independence.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I told him, I was like, you can go get a job, fill that out, see how that feels to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like get that work ethic,
Right.
going. because I'm gonna be putting you to work, basically. You know what I mean? You're gonna have businesses to run, and he's way
Yeah.
more focused than I was at his age.
Hmm.
He's already there. So he watches me. He
Yeah.
watches everything I do because that's what your seed's gonna do, and man, like as boring or as, monotonous or as mundane as paperwork sounds,
Hmm.
it excites me. And so he watches me staring at my printer. You know what I mean? I'll be like, all right, I'm on my way out. I'm on my way out. He's like, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to Fairfield. And he always says, all right, good luck. Always. You know what I mean?
Always.
So it's like, he knows, and so I'm super,
Yeah.
super thankful.
So you're just an all around example, and I appreciate you stepping out. Because another thing that I probably told you that I think about is, where would I be, or where would someone else be if someone that they came across even for a moment wasn't in position, wasn't
Man,
doing what they were supposed to do along their journey?
man.
It all counts. It
Yeah,
all counts.
yeah,
You
it
know.
does. It does. Every bit of it. Every bit of it.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to be the best version of myself. That's it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And enjoy
Exactly.
it and enjoy this beautiful life. That's it.
Hmm.
You know?
Because this is where it's at. This is where we make impact. This is where we're impacted. This is where the growth is. This is where the fun is. This is where the change
Yeah.
is. Like, all of
This is
this is
where it's
right here
at.
in
This is
life.
where it's
It's
at.
where
This is
it's
where it's at.
at. It's
We
where
ju-
it's
we
at.
we chose to come here. That's my belief. I can't put my beliefs on anyone
Hmm.
else. But
I've heard that
you know what I
before.
mean?
I know some people who believe that too. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure, but
Yeah. Yeah. So
but
I'm gonna
but
go
what a
that
beautiful
way.
choice. What a
Yeah.
beautiful choice. I'm
Absolutely.
grateful. I'm
Absolutely.
really grateful.
I'm immensely
Hmm.
grateful every day. Every day I
Yeah.
wake up excited. You know what I mean? Every day I wake up
Yeah.
excited. I'll be juiced. I'm like, yes. Today's gonna be a magnificent day. It is a
Magnificent day. Every
magnificent
time I
day.
talk to you, how are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Oh, well, I'm fantastic. I'm magnificent. I'm wonderful. I'm like, you're right. You are. I am too.
You are
Yeah,
too.
I
Cut the
am
crap.
too.
Cut the crap.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
I am too.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. We all are, but it's all perception and
Yeah.
perspective. It's how you see it. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like you can look at it and complain about all all that you want to complain about, but
Right.
I didn't choose to be here for that, me personally.
Right.
So I'm going to enjoy it. And I feel like, this whole COVID thing, my condolences to anyone who's been affected negatively, by
Hmm.
it. But, it's been wonderful for me and for a lot of people I know, you know what I mean?
I've
Like,
definitely been productive during this time.
yeah,
I have been really, really productive, laying the groundwork for some things. And um, I think that, again, a lot of people have. There are
yeah,
some people who can't get past it, but again, you can't get past it here, then you can't get past anything.
nah, you have to
So,
change your thinking.
hmm,
There was a shift. There's a shift in the universe. And you have to shift along with it. It was a paradigm
exactly.
shift, and you have to
Hmm.
be right there with it, so you can vibrate on that higher frequency too.
And allowing the things that need to die, whether it's certain aspects of relationships, things in your environment, habits, coping mechanisms. Sometimes your coping mechanisms don't really help you cope. They're just a distraction. And
Right.
I think that a lot of people having to sit down and look at themselves have done one of two things. Either it's made you level up and make
Yeah.
some adjustments, or
Yeah.
it's made you, like, you bogged down in it and drowned yourself in it.
Right.
And it's time out for that, because like you said, there is a huge shift. And if you ain't rocking, then you rolling. And
Then
it's
you, yeah,
it's
yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah.
we can't do that. So
Mm.
once again, it has been great talking with you. If you all
Yes.
need credit repair, you need someone to officiate your marriage, or any kind of mobile, any kind of notary services, Will Davis is happy to help you. Follow him on Instagram. Your number one more time.
510-940-5427. Once again,
5427. Once
that's
again.
510
Uh-huh.
940-5427. I
Awesome.
answer.
It's been
I
great
answer.
having you.
Say thank you.
And if you're not sure, text him. It's all good. It's a
It's
cell phone.
good.
It's a cellular
It's
telephonic device,
Gucci.
y'all. You
It's
know how to
always on
use
me.
it.
It's always on me. I always answer. It's a lot. I still answer. you know. So I got to answer. This is my business, so it's like I'm not going to
Right,
pass up any opportunity, you know. And someone may, you know, really need me, and so I want to be there,
right.
you know. So
Absolutely. So
yeah,
thank you again for your availability to me and to the public,
absolutely,
to our
Tay.
community, and for continuing to grow. I look forward to all of the new things that you have coming up in the future.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I got a lot of
It's gonna be good.
I got a
You
lot of
out
things
here.
simmering in the crock pot. So, you know, I'm gonna keep you
Yes.
abreast of what's going on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, so because you've been, I don't know, I'm glad that we met. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me
Super
too.
duper. You know what I mean? Because, and that's why I don't mind helping. You know, I was like, man, pick my brain. How many times have I told you that? I think every time we talk, I'm
You
like, pick my
told me.
brain. If you have any
Yep.
questions,
I'm
you know
like,
what I mean?
hi,
Like,
I'm sorry. I have a question. You're like, yep, give me 2 minutes. Yep. What you
yep,
need.
yep, yep.
And I'm really, really grateful because you've been helping me to get over that failure to launch and to build my confidence. Because if you don't know nothing, or you don't know what you don't know, it's hard to figure out what you need to know. And the
I
last thing you want
didn't.
to do is drown before you even get in the water.
I didn't have anybody. I just was like,
I
you know what?
know
Caution
you
to the
told me
wind. I
that.
was like, you know what? I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. And I made some
Yeah,
mistakes. I made some rookie mistakes. You know, but
yeah,
it's part of the process though. It's part of the
right,
process. You know what I'm saying? Me wanting to help you and you taking heed to it will just help you along the way so you won't make the same mistakes I did. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I paved the way. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm glad that I was able and still am able to do that. You know,
yeah.
because I
I
man,
get it because I've done it in different areas of my life for others, and it's what we're supposed to do. It's what we're supposed to do.
no, no,
So
absolutely, yeah. Tay, thank you.
yes, you're very welcome. I
Yes,
really appreciate you. We're going to be in contact again. You guys follow him on Instagram. Contact him for any of your notary credit needs, and also if you need an
any
official.
questions?
Any questions? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a wealth of knowledge, and anything
yeah.
he doesn't know, he can help you. He can point you around. It's we out here. We're a community. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in to Where They At Wednesday, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye. And end.